All right, so what are some ways we can improve this? Well, right now we're only capturing standard out, and a lot of commands like curl actually put out um, a lot of information on standard error. So um, this is definitely something that we're going to need later on. So let's just go ahead and do that now. Let's, I'm going to yank this, paste it here, and let's say, we'll just call this standard error, and this is going to be standard error pipe. Perfect. Now these functions here, scan, well, specifically this is going to block. So if we want to output anything from standard error and standard out at the same time, one of those is going to at least have to go into a go routine. So let's go ahead and put standard error in a go routine here. So let's call go func, and let's just grab this, put it here, and we'll put standard error there. And I think that should be sufficient. All right, yes, so we can see that this information from curl is actually output on standard error because that wasn't there before. So that part is working. All right, now I guess the next thing that we need to tackle is, this isn't going to be a very useful tool if we have all this kind of information hard-coded, which commands we want to run. So we're going to have to pass this information in as arguments. Let's loop through the args that are passed into the command. So let's just do that. Let's say for arg in range os.args. Okay, this will be a good place to start. And actually, let's start from the we're not gonna, the first argument is always the name of the command, so we're not gonna use that. Let's just treat every argument after that as a command that we want to run. Okay, so we've got that. Now we need to, let's just move some of this stuff up here. So we're gonna need that there. I think what we want to do is we want to split this arg based on space. And the first token that we get is the name of the command, and every token after that is going to be the arguments. So let's say tokens is going to be strings.split arg on space. And let's just create some variables here. So name is going to equal tokens 0. Let's just say args are going to equal just an empty string, slice of strings. Let me grab this, put it up here, and we're going to say this first argument is going to be name, and then this is going to be args. I think that is what we want. But args is just empty string. So what we need to do is say if len tokens is greater than 1, then args equals tokens. Let's do that. That should work. Well, let's try it. Let's do go run main.go, and we'll pass ls-l as the first. We'll just do 1. Okay, that works. Now we had the other command that we were testing was the curl wttr.in. See what that does. Okay, so we're pretty much back where we were, except now we can pass these in as arguments. So that's good. But if we look at the command type here, this one here, this is, I'm certainly going to need this. Okay, so dir specifies the working directory of the command. So this needs to be passed in somehow. Now, I do like the simplicity of this, just passing in the commands one right after the other. But I think the more flexible way to do this is to assign these to like a command, like parameter type or a flag or whatever you want to call it. So we're going to actually have to inspect the value of arg now. So let's do this. Probably the simplest way to do that is to just switch. So let's do switch arg. And in the case where arg equals cmd, then we're going to do this, all this stuff. Whoops. Okay, we'll put that there. And actually, we're going to need to use the index of this because we're going to actually have to do os.args I plus 1 here. And actually, if we do that, then we're not going to be able to use that because that'll mess up our index. So if we see a dash dash command, we're going to take the next argument and use that. All right, let's just go ahead and test that. So if we say go run main.go, command as ls-l, and then command curl wttr.in. Okay, so that still works. So this will allow us to switch on another case here. So we'll say case dir, and we'll just set up a variable here called, this will just be a string, that'll be empty. And if we see the dir flag, we're going to say dir equals os.args I plus 1. So we get this command object. Okay, so we're going to have to do this. So let's say command equals, put that there, and then we'll say command dot dir equals dir. We'll put command back in here, but only if dir does not equal empty string. Okay, let's try that. If we say, so right now we're just running ls on the current directory of the project, but if we were to say dir, let's say go up a directory, that did work. So perfect. Now that applies to, that means every successive command is also going to have the same directory, but we could overwrite it as we could do something like this, dir here. And actually, let's try that. Let's do dir there, and then we'll say dir here, current directory, and the command is going to be ls-l. I don't know if that's going to matter, but let's just do that. Yes, that did work. So we ran ls both times and got different results each time, depending on the directory. So that's great.